Methods of waste disposal. Waste disposal is the collection, processing, recycling, or depositing of human society's waste materials. Waste is categorized according to its origin and composition. In general, waste materials are either liquid or solid in nature, and their constituents might be harmful or inert in terms of their effects on health and the environment. The term waste is commonly used to refer to solid waste, sewage or wastewater, hazardous waste, and electronic waste. First is landfill. In the landfill method of waste disposal, a huge pit is made in an open, low-lying area, usually away from the places where people reside. The waste is collected in huge trucks and dumped into the pits. Once the pits are full, they are covered with soil and left for decomposition. Here are the advantages of landfills. 1. Landfills are an excellent energy source. When trash accumulates and begins to break down, carbon dioxide and methane are produced. These gases can be taken out, filtered out, and used for energy production. Number 2. Keep cities, towns, and districts clean. With properly maintained landfill facilities, local trash will be dealt with locally instead of shifting them to other countries. Number 3. Keep hazardous waste segregated. Landfills provide a place to dump recyclable and non-recyclable waste separately. Also, they provide a place to keep more hazardous materials that need to be segregated from the public. Here are the disadvantages of landfills. Number 1. Landfills are partially responsible for climate change. 1 ton of biodegradable waste can produce about 400 to 500 cubic meters of landfill gas. Landfill gas contains methane and carbon dioxide as the major constituents and traces of other gases. Methane is a greenhouse gas that is 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide, thus increases the implications of global warming and climate change. Number 3. Contaminate soil and water. Although it's not very common for protective membranes of landfills to rupture, it can be devastating when they do. Hazardous chemicals, gases, and toxins seep from landfills, get mixed with soil and groundwater, causing soil and water pollution. Number 4. Landfills affect wildlife. Landfill sites have negative effects on plants and animals. Certain birds and animals feed on landfill sites. By doing so, they ingest plastic, aluminum, drywall, and other materials. Next is incineration. Incineration is a method of waste treatment involving the burning of organic materials found in waste. Incineration and other high-temperature waste management processes are all called thermal treatments. The advantages of waste incineration: it is more environment-friendly than other disposal methods. The waste can be disposed of as it is accumulated, enables workplace to be kept safe and tidy, eliminates costly transportation of waste to disposal sites, destroys sources of contamination and infection. It reduces amount of waste. Residual ash is less than 10% of waste. Technologies available now meet stringent emission standards, including meeting extremely low particulate emission, and this can be made self-sustaining with RTOs and waste-to-energy plants, can work in fully auto mode with at least manual intervention. Running costs can be kept low by choosing the right model for the right waste. Here are the disadvantages of waste incineration. Incinerators do not generate direct revenue, though waste management actually enhances productivity. It is poorly designed. Incinerators can create other problems of pollution through smoke, greenhouse gases, and particulate emission. People shun using the incinerator due to improper understanding of the technology. It may have high running costs if not sized and optimized. If untrained operators operate the system, they can spoil the system. Scrubber bleed difficult to dispose of in systems not equipped to handle the same, creating another issue. Operators do not like to run the incinerator manually. So here is waste compaction. Waste compaction describes various methods used to compress and consolidate various types of items that are dumped into a landfill. The general idea is to enhance the efficiency of the waste collection and disposal process by condensing the collected waste into a smaller mass, that it takes up less room in the landfill. There are actually multiple phases to waste compaction, beginning at the point of collection and finally concluding with additional compressing at the landfill itself. Waste haulage costs are reduced by fewer or smaller dumpster, and dumpster pickup frequency can be reduced by 50%. The side effect of waste compaction is that important items like evidence in a crime may be difficult to recover from the garbage. Next is biogas generation. Biogas is an environment-friendly renewable energy source. It produced when organic matter such as food or animal waste is broken down by microorganisms in the absence of oxygen in a process called anaerobic digestion. So here are the advantages of biogas. Biogas is eco-friendly. Biogas generation reduces soil and water pollution. 3. Biogas generation produces organic fertilizer. 4. It's a simple cost and low cost technology that encourages a circular economy. 5. Healthy cooking alternatives for developing areas. Here are the disadvantages of biogas. Number 1. Few technological advancements. 2. Contains impurities. 3. Effects of temperature and biogas production. 4. Less suitable for dense metropolitan areas. Next is composting. Recycling food and other organic waste into compost provides a range of environmental benefits, including improving soil health, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, recycling nutrients, and mitigating the impact of droughts. Advantages of composting. Improvements in soil quality, enhances the structure of the soil, rather cheap soil conditioner, fully organic fertilizer, higher yields, less waste, fewer garbage, pickups necessary, easy to produce compost, eco-friendly, education for your kids, good feeling to act in an eco-friendly manner. Here are the disadvantages of composting. It requires initial investment. Efficiency depends on your amount of organic waste. Unpleasant smell. Neighbors may complain. May attract rats, snakes, and bugs. Rather unpleasant physical appearance involve plenty of work. Needs some monitoring. Quality of compost depends on the ingredients. Composting takes time. Additional fertilizer may be necessary spread of disease. Composting needs some space. Not suitable for all kinds of organic waste. It can be a fire hazard. Next is vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is a natural process whereby earthworms convert waste material with rigid structures into compost. The compost produced in this green process is traditionally and popularly used as a natural fertilizer for enhancing plant growth. So here are the advantages of vermicomposting. Number 1, it is fast. Number 2, more and more worms. Number 3, outside or inside. Here are the disadvantages of vermicomposting. Number 1, fruit flies. Number 2, pathogens. And number 3, cost. So next is the solid waste management effects of poor solid waste management. Poor solid waste management is ranging from non-existing collection systems to ineffective disposal, causes air pollution, water and soil contamination. Open and unsanitary landfills contribute to contamination of drinking water and can cause infection and transmit diseases. Most of us can claim to have read up on waste management processes. However, it should come as no surprise that despite our best efforts, the damage has been done, only at a different rate. We have come a long way in efficiently dealing with waste, yet several key problems continue to emerge and injure the planet at large. The negative effects of improper waste management not only ends in disgusting view but also affects the overall economy of our country. The state has to spend a lot of money to counter the effects of improper waste management. Moreover, animals dependent on the environment also face a great threat due to the oil spills and leaching of chemicals which directly causes soil and water contamination. Burning of any disposed waste and plastic materials results in air and environmental pollution. Though we are all familiar with common methods of waste management like landfills, incineration, recycling, biological processing, or energy conservation, we may find ourselves living in a world filled with waste. Renewable energy and recycling took us to newer heights, but the adverse effects of improper waste management continue to plague us. So, sources of solid waste, and here are the examples. So the first is solid domestic garbage. Domestic solid waste, commonly known as trash or garbage, or fuse or rubbish, is a waste type consisting of everyday items that are discarded by the public. The organic waste portions consist of food and kitchen waste, yard trimmings or other garden waste. Inorganic waste consists of paper, corrugated cardboard, plastic, glass, wood, and metal products such as drink cans. Number Next is waste material from various industries. The term industrial waste can be defined as any liquid, solid, or gaseous residual matter stemming from industrial activity, and regardless of whether the certain waste is classified as domestic or industrial without proper established disposal plans, any form of waste can lead to employee health hazards. Industrial waste is defined as waste generated by manufacturing or industrial processes. The types of industrial waste generated include cafeteria garbage, masonry, and concrete scrap metals, oil, solvents, chemicals, wood, scrap lumber, and similar wastes. So here is the solid agricultural waste. So agricultural waste is produced as a result of various agricultural operations. It includes manure and other waste from farms, poultry houses, and slaughterhouses, harvest waste, fertilizer runoff from fields. So pesticides that enter into water, air, or soils, and salt and silt drained from fields. So next is plastics, glass, metals, e-waste, and etc. So here is plastics examples. So plastic grocery, plastic straws, and stirrers are the next most common items. Many of us use this in our everyday without even thinking that they might end up. So next, glass is found in municipal solid waste, primarily in the form of containers such as liquor bottles, jar of food, cosmetics, and other foods products. Other examples of metal waste. So it includes, but not limited to, siding, flashings, ductwork wire, cables, fencing, frames, machinery, garbage cans, furniture, tire rims, and propane cylinders. So examples of e-waste. E-waste is a popular informal name for electronic products nearing the end of their useful life. So the examples of these are fax machines, VCR, stereos, copiers. So many of these products can be reused, refurbished, or recycled. Next is the medical waste. So example of medical waste are syringes, disposable masks, body parts removed during surgery, samples of tests like blood or stool, chemical treatments on contaminated medical devices. Next is the construction waste and sewage sludge. So common types of construction waste was included in are glass, wood, cement, ceramics, plastics, insulations, bituminous mixtures, coal tar, and tar. So metallic waste such as pipes, soil, stones, and dredging, paints and varnishes, adhesives, and sealants. So sewage sludge is a product of wastewater treatment. So examples of this are household, medical, chemical, industrial waste, chemicals and metals that leach from sewer pipes themselves, and novel materials that are created in the wastewater treatment plant as a result of the combination of chemical and organic compounds present. So that is all about the types of waste, its advantages and disadvantages, and the methods of waste disposal. Thank you, and this is again Jamaica Dun Espeda from BSEd Social Studies, second year.